Hi folks, thanks for joining me. Hope everybody's keeping well. So today we have another new band on the channel, Vola, and the song is Head Mounted Sideways, and this is the official music video. So quick disclaimer, Vola are not a new band to me. New band on the channel, but not a new band for me. I started listening to them a few years ago. I think around the time Applause of a Distant Crowd came out. Listened to that album several times, and then I think I went backwards to In Mazes. Could be wrong, can't remember exactly which one I listened to first, but those two albums, whenever I first started listening to Vola, those were the only two albums that were on Spotify, and I have to confess that I've lost track of them, in the last couple of years. But I recently got a request for Vola, and it was one of the songs off those two albums. The request came from one of my patrons over on Patreon. So I told him that I actually can't react to this. I could still give you an analysis video if you want, but he decided to change, so he's given me something that's more current. So I haven't heard this one before, or any other sort of current stuff. Actually, like I say, I've sort of lost track of them a little bit. I have a band called DIAMIR, and the first single wouldn't be at all like this, but the second single probably a little bit. The reason I mention this is because in one of the reviews of one of our live gigs we played, the reviewer referred to us as like a sort of Northern Irish version of Vola. I just sort of mention it because there is a song we have on here called Atrophy, and it's maybe the closest song we have out at the moment that would be into Vola territory. Yeah, if you check the band out, DIAMIR, and you happen to like us, do subscribe to the channel. You'll find the links in the description and stuff here. Most of the stuff that's still to come is a lot more proggy than what we have on there. Anyway, there you go. This has turned into a plug. Can't help it. If you check my other videos, you'll notice I don't really talk about the band that much. It just happens to be, I thought that was relevant since we got compared to this band in one of our shows. So I'm guessing that because this is a new band on the channel, we may get some new people here. Hello if you've never been here before, but quick disclaimer, I'm going to be pausing a lot. I like that space bar, so it's just to give you my thoughts, isn't it? So if you haven't heard the song before and you want to experience it in its entirety, do go and listen to it first and then come back. Sometimes whenever I'm doing these, I will let the video run right to the end and then I'll go back and analyze it and break it down. Just so happens I haven't got an awful lot of free time right now, so I think what I'll probably do is try and break it down as I go. So without further ado, looking forward to this one. Haven't heard them in a few years, so yeah, get some Vola on the go. Wow, this is much heavier than what I remember them being. Getting kind of Meshuggah vibes a little bit, but just vibes. It definitely doesn't sound like, they still sound unique. They don't sound like another band, but I'm definitely getting some Meshuggah vibes there, from the low down, genty kind of stuff, in the guitars. I'm going to run that through again. So what do we get to? 112. I'll give you some of my thoughts this time as I go. So hi-hat, foot on the hi-hat, that's not a stick. What a nasty synth. That actually makes me think of War Pigs by Black Sabbath. Um, Let me see. That synth. I like the visuals actually because we've got this sort of oscillating visual thing going on with that synthesizer. But that is nasty. It's like an Aphex Twin electronic nightmare, you know, in all the right ways, you know. Very industrial. Something interesting to me there in the drumming is that you got that sort of choked kind of cymbal sound there. It gives a lot of space because I would think that in this sort of right, so say that sort of style with low tuned guitars and that sort of big open 4/4 beat, a lot of the time be on like a big open sounded sort of ringy kind of cymbal there. There's something about the fact that that's drawn, that it's sort of choked. It's not like physically choked, but I don't know what type of cymbal he's using. I don't even know if it's even the hi hat or whatever. But whatever way he's playing this, and whatever cymbal choice he's using, it's just giving a different sort of feel. It's making me think of like something subtle, like the way Roger Taylor plays his drums in Queen. That when it comes to like a 4/4 beat, because he's using the open hi hat along with the snare, there's like an identity to it. So there's just something different about that big open beat because of that cymbal choice that I really like. Very dry. That bass tone, man, that's sick. More drama now with the synths. Angry textures. Menacing. Lots of dissonance in the riff. What tuning are we on? Down to F sharp. That's low. There's a lot of that minor second stuff going on in part of the riff anyway. Yeah, like I said, industrial before. I'm not sponsored by Lucas yet, by the way. I'm just thirsty and tired, so that does what it's supposed to do. Anyway, yeah, the vocoder thing goes with that industrial kind of feel. Even the video has got like a sci-fi thing going on. It looks like sort of like computers talking to us through the sort of the Matrix, you know, getting images of that. I'm only catching glimpses of the video because the music's really taking my attention, like, but yeah, really cool. When do you ever get space like that in a heavy band and then get vocoder affected vocals as the sort of main thing coming through? So again, unique. That's more unique though, isn't it? Cool imagery. Hear the breaths. Lovely chord choices. That was kind of more what my brain was primed for whenever I clicked play. So the sort of heavier stuff at the start really took me by surprise. What a beautiful chorus. I think that I've thought for a while now that when it comes to that sort of those sort of melodic, clean choruses in music, it's a wee bit cliched. You know, the kill switch engage thing. You know, it's been done to death. So I do find it kind of hard for most times whenever I hear a new band and there's a lot of screaming and stuff going on, and then we get to this sort of, I'd almost go as far as I said, sort of cheesy, the big chorus. This band, even though that formula is a little bit there, even though we didn't have the scream before, it was the sort of vocoder. We had the different kind of voice, and then the sort of classic clean vocals sung chorus. But I don't know, it's something to do with the emotion and the vocal, the style and the production and the way everything works. That in this band it doesn't feel cliched, which is really rare, in my opinion, to get a band that doesn't make me feel, like, oh, you're just going with the old kill switch formula. This is a way of like keeping it fresh. I guess when Killswitch came out and did it, and sure there were other bands around the time. Like I'm talking way, way back now. Like first Killswitch Engage album, that metalcore kind of thing. It was kind of fresh at that point. Soilwork were doing it before Killswitch, and no offense to anybody, but Soilwork are a much superior band. Don't be shooting me, but it's just the truth. But they were doing it, and yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully, you guys know where I'm going. Like, it's not too much of a tangent there. It just feels nice that sort of 20 years down the line or whatever, when we're using heavy music with sort of different textural vocals, that when we get the clean vocals in, it doesn't sound cliched. It sounds fresh, sounds emotional. I think the chord choices have a lot to do with it, because there's an element of progressiveness in this, even though it was straight time. The harmonies in there reminds me a little bit of like Stephen Wilson. Kind of like his use of chords, and maybe something like what do you call that? Hand Cannot Erase. That was a great album. Yeah, so I'm getting a little bit of him. The harmony and the da 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 da, there's something ambiguous about it. It almost sounds major and minor at the same time. There's something very sci-fi about it. Liking the sort of subtle work on the snare there as well. We're not just getting that big cracked. We're getting sort of ghost notes in there on the sort of eighth notes or quavers. Listen really closely, like, and it's very subtle. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Bring back the voice that fled. Yes. Bring back my name. Replay my talk show game. Really unusual. Love the way they're playing with the formula there. Again, I was kind of primed. I'm getting a more commercial sound from the band now than what I remember from beforehand, which is no bad thing. That's cool. The band definitely deserves more attention. They're a superb band. Like, I would say they're one of the best bands on the go for this kind of stuff. At least whenever I was listening to them, sort of 2018, 2019 or whatever, I was like the freshest stuff. Superb. And they're just continuing to evolve. From what I've heard. So. That last verse there really, really it's a really good example of why the band is so good, because a lesser band would have been like, right, so we know what the verse is because we've already had it. Let's do something with that again. But they just play it about with the format so much. The vocoder stuff's gone. We've got clean vocals now, lightness on the drums. That's snarly bass. It's so juxtaposed with everything else that's going on. Makes it really, really captivating to listen to. This airiness. So that's harking back to the riff, isn't it? From the introduction, at least. I think it was at the very start. Yeah, dun 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 dun. I don't know if it's note for note, but I'm definitely getting that. It's a motif, at least, on what we've heard at the very start. It's interesting how they've incorporated that bass throughout that sort of sparseness, ambient, atmospheric kind of thing with that sort of snarly bass in there. There's something about that. It just keeps the menace. Slight Opeth vibes here too. Vocals, I guess. Beautiful chorus. Wow. Beautiful harmonies. Love that they hold that over the bar instead of just coming on the downbeat. You put it over so it becomes like an upbeat. Loving all these ethereal synths. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Blood has been spilled. I'm saying goodbye for now.
Oh man. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I love a band that can hit me over the head with a sledgehammer and then whisper lullabies to me at the same time, all while sort of being really creepy and haunting and disturbing and beautiful. And it's just, if you're here before, you know about my checklist. Talk about tick tick tick, lots of boxes being ticked on this one. Yeah, that was superb. Loved that one. So if you happen to enjoy this video, guys, please do like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Never said that before, but some people don't, and then they miss the videos. They're like, oh, where have you been? It's like, I haven't been anywhere. Where have you been? If you do enjoy what I'm doing and you want to help support me, Bandcamp's your best bet. Go to Bandcamp because you can buy that for the same price of the coffee, and you're getting all my music. So thank you very much to everybody that is helping support the channel that way. It means a lot. So thanks for watching. See you all next time.